It was good. We tried to accomplish some things out there by pushing the tempo, putting the systems in place, and just working on pieces of the game, and not trying to give them too much, but yet trying to accomplish what we needed to today. So I thought it was good. The pace started strong. It dipped a little bit, but for the most part, I thought it was a pretty good first day.
It sounded like a lot of energy based on the guys that we talked to. A lot of energy out there. Guys excited, guys ready to go. Did you get that same sense?
For sure there was. And, I think, like I said yesterday, guys were anxious to get back on the ice and start working. You have to wait the summer and wait to get through yesterday. So guys wanted to get out there and work today. And typically I find that they don't mind doing work. They want to get out there and skate and work and get better at their game. So, it was a good first day for that. Like I said, I think we accomplished some things. We pushed the pace pretty hard and get ready for tomorrow.
How about for you? How anxious were you to get out there and get back in a new team, new environment?
Yeah, it's a long time from when you get named coach in May, and a lot of things that you're doing through the course of the summer, trying to move from one city, get into this city, but probably the same, I guess, could be said for me. I get through yesterday, the meetings and the physicals, to get to today where we can get out and start to work as a group and get ready for exhibition games.
How early into camp can you start to see the chemistry develop between some of these guys and get a feel for the direction where you guys are heading, potential-wise?
Well, there were some lines that looked good out there today. There were some pairings on defense that looked good out there today, and I think the best way really is when you get in the games and you see if what you see in practice actually takes shape through the course of the game. So exhibition games are the best way to look at things and judge for me. So I'll be anxious for that. We got a scrimmage coming up, inter-squad scrimmage in 2 days, and again, that'll help take a look at our players and watch them play in a live situation, and then the exhibition games coming shortly after that.
Can you talk a little bit about James Neal and sort of, he would seem to be a guy that would fit right into what you're trying to do, your system, and what you're
Yeah, I
trying
mean,
to
he had a good first day. He looks like he's in terrific shape, and he's got. I think he's real excited to be here and be part of this team and be a leader on the team here. And he had a first good day. Obviously, he can shoot the puck, and he's got a terrific release. But the way he was skating out there and moving on his line, they had a good practice. So good first day for James.
As far as Pekka, his sort of health issues have been well documented the last couple of years. He said he feels like he's back to where he was a couple of years ago.
Well, he looked sharp to me. Like I said, he looked sharp over at the World Championships when he got named best player in the tournament. And I think that was a real good thing for him from a confidence standpoint, back on the ice and put that injury behind you and get to train all summer and work out the way he wanted to and come to camp in shape, ready to play. And he looked strong in his first day out there.
With Fisher being out, that's you're not missing him on the ice, but the leadership role too in the locker room. Is Eric Nystrom a guy that you're maybe excited to see if he's a guy who can step in and fill that void?
I think Eric fills that role anyway on this team. And again, I think we'll get through that as we get through camp and I start to work with the players a little bit more. But certainly his reputation as a leader, a guy that does the right thing and says the right thing, and they'll still be counted on us. Still be counted on for that role for our team. Certainly, we'd like to have Mike out there, and that'll be good when he starts to come back. He's healing and getting better, and we'll be anxious to see him return. But right now, other guys will have to pick up the slack, and Herb is one of those guys that can do that.
The lines that were out there today will be the same tomorrow. How much do you plan to adjust and move the lines as you go through this process?
They'll move. The games will be different. You won't see necessarily a line that you saw today in a game. I don't know if that line is something that you'll see when the season starts. And we're at day one in a feeling out process. We had to start somewhere. Somebody had to go on the wing of somebody and on the other wing. So we started one way, but I'm sure things will change quite a bit as the training camp moves on.
Mike Ribeiro is a guy that a lot of people who aren't big hockey people necessarily know a lot about. What makes him special, and what are you looking for him?
His reputation is that he's a real skilled hockey player. He's at his best when the puck's on his stick and he's making plays, and he's very good at it. So, you know, it's we add that to the pieces that we already have here, and we try to change the makeup of our group up front. And you know, he's able to get the puck to some of the guys that we need to get it to, Craig Smith and James Neal, and guys that can put the puck in the net. So even some of the young players. So it'll be interesting training camp to see who he plays with, and how those guys, if there is chemistry, and how those guys respond on his wing. But he's a talented hockey player, and we brought him in here for that reason, and we want to get him up to speed and ready to contribute on this club.
He mentioned specifically the fact that he was nervous today, that this was sort of a fresh start for him in many ways. Do you sense that?
Yeah, I think it's a fresh start. You know, I think it's a fresh start for everybody, and maybe that's the energy that you talked about, that on the ice or the players are talking about. There's a new coach, new coaching staff. There's new players. There's trades that were made. There are free agents that were signed. There's young players that are ready to come up here and knock on the door, and that brings a bit of energy. We talked about it yesterday in the meeting. The one thing that we mentioned, that in my opinion, this should be probably one of the most competitive camps that I've ever been to as a coach. There's a lot at stake and opportunities to be given, but I don't know how many opportunities. So it's important when you grab one of those opportunities that you make the very most of it, and try to show why you belong on this club.
Did you talk to any of the guys that were here last year, as far as on staff and things like that, to gauge how things were done in the past and get an idea of how different it might be with you, and how different the systems and just how camp is run? No.
I didn't. You know, I know that the coach before me is a terrific coach and very well respected in the league, and I think everybody has their own thoughts on the game and how it should be played. So rather than finding out, you know, what went on, just really just go by what I know and what I believe, and try to start presenting that and implementing that on the first.
All right, guys.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you, Peter.